Okay, I'm just going to get started. Welcome to the virtual college exploration for all California students, sponsored by the College2Career Fairs and StrifeScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type out questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at college2careerfairsconnect.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, college2careerfairsconnect.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenter.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And for those who are viewing this a little bit later, thank you for coming to Arcadia University's presentation. We greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, I am actually your admissions counselor. Hi. My name is Gina. I am here to help you throughout the application process, as well as any questions you may have about Arcadia University. So I'd like to get started. All right. So three main things about Arcadia University is three parts of our promise: global, integrative, and personal. Now what that means, global, for example, we are very well known for our studying abroad opportunities. That includes all of our affiliations and partnerships internationally, as well as our Arcadia International Centers. I do have study abroad slides a little bit later in the presentation, so I will touch more on that. But our professors have gone, all of our professors have gone and done a sabbatical term, whether that be 6 months to up to 2 years outside of the US, and they bring their global learning and their research and integrate it back into their classroom settings. So even if you don't take an opportunity to study abroad, you still will receive a globalized perspective education from within our classroom in Glenside, Pennsylvania. Integrative, all of our classes, all of our majors require a senior project, whether that be a research project or an internship. So integrative, we're very hands-on learning. If it's that research project for our international relations majors, or if it's the labs that are on our campus for our biology majors, or the internship that our business majors are doing. So very hands-on. We're making sure you leave Arcadia not only with your education, but also with experience to put on your resume, which is great for jobs post-graduation. And lastly, personal. A lot of schools pitch this, especially small schools such as Arcadia, but we really go above and beyond with this personalization factor. Our professors, they get to know their students. Students get to know their professors, and that's really great for sculpting our curriculum and the way that our professors teach their students so that they can get the most out of their education at Arcadia University. It's also really great for post-graduation opportunities, or even a summer in between years. If you're looking for an internship or a job opportunity, maybe you want to stay in the Philadelphia area. A lot of our professors are very well known and are great with networking sources, so that is very, very helpful for a lot of our students. And lastly, personalization goes all the way up to our president and our vice president of the university. President Dr. Nair, he makes a point to get to know every single student on this campus. And there's only 2,000, we're a small school, but still that's a lot of students to get to know, as well as faculty and staff. He will friend you on Facebook, add you on, follow you on Instagram, add you on LinkedIn. He makes sure that you are receiving the most out of your education that you can. And he makes that a point throughout your 4 years, that you know that and that you feel that your education really matters. All right, so as I mentioned, we're a small university. This means your classroom size is going to be about 14 to 15 students per class, especially those introduction level classes during your first and second year. During your third and fourth year, that classroom size can maybe shrink to about 12 students or 10, because we really focus in on a subject underneath the broad spectrum that is your major. And we teach all of our classes as a discussion based. Nothing is lecture hall. You won't be a student lost in a crowd. You will be someone that your professor knows, you understand the material. And if you have any questions, all of our professors' classrooms are directly across the hall from their offices. So if you have any questions after class, or even at a more convenient time for you, it's very easy to access your professors. Lastly, we do have more than 65 fields of study. This means that you can choose one major if you'd like. You can double major, such as I did when I was a student at Arcadia. You can have a major and a minor. a lot of variety within those degrees, and broad from education to sciences to arts to performing arts to business. There's so many majors that Arcadia offers, so I'm sure we have the major for you. So to talk about the school a little bit, we have 26 NCAA D3 teams. We just added 5 to our roster this year, and men's and women's ice hockey, men's and women's track and field, and esports, which is very exciting. We are very prideful of a lot of our wins. We had 3 wins in 2019, so that was very exciting. If you don't want to participate in one of our athletic teams, we do have 15 intramural sports as well that you can participate in. That's Arcadia students competing against other Arcadia students, so not as competitive, but still a lot of fun. And lastly, 60 plus clubs and organizations, ranging from academic-based clubs, Spanish club, our FICA club, which is our business club. We have our chemistry lab, or our chemistry club, to more cultural clubs. We have religious clubs. We have our dance teams that perform at the end of each semester. So a lot to be involved with. If you don't want to be involved with clubs, that's fine too. Our weekend activities, Arcadia likes to host activities on the weekend, such as laser tag or roller skating or midnight bingo, which is probably the most popular event. I think the entire school attends that one. So Friday and Saturday is always an activity-based involvement where the university is able to get the students together. And then Sundays is a movie, drinks, popcorn, something easy to start you off on your week. We do have our Pride events that happen every year. Our Night Madness that happens every fall, which is an introduction to all of our sports teams. Very exciting moment. Again, the entire university basically shows up for that. We have our Woodstock event in the spring, which is basically Arcadia Takes Coachella, which is really nice. We invite someone. We have this really nice, gorgeous, big green, grassy area in the middle of campus, which is great for picnics and great for a Coachella-like event. And we do art shows, food truck festivals. We have our spring fling. We have our cotillion, which is our college prom. So a lot of events are happening on campus. A lot of students stay on the weekend to hang out with their friends and enjoy campus life. And lastly, guaranteed housing all 4 years. We have our traditional style dorms, the thing you see in the movies, 2 people sharing a space, bathroom in the hallway. We actually have a castle on campus that students can live in as well. That is first come, first serve. So if you want to be that princess your first year of college, then definitely get your housing form in first. And lastly, we do have an apartment style complex on campus as well. It is about, from our main campus, it's about a 5-minute walk. I was a lazy senior and I drove to campus every day anyway, even though it was such a short walk, but very, very, very close to campus. So guaranteed housing all 4 years. So you're home away from home. You don't know much about, or I'm assuming you don't know much about the Philadelphia area. We are located just outside of Philadelphia in a small town called Glenside. This town, it's really nice. It gives all the little shops give student discounts, especially the Dunkin' Donuts gives 10% off. I was very popular there. And then from our campus in Glenside, it's about a 10-minute walk, or a 12-minute walk really, to the train station, and a 20-minute ride into Center City, Philadelphia. Philadelphia is an amazing city. It's a very young city. It's great for networking events, great to really get your resume out there, find jobs, network with other students as well that are in the area. And it's also great just to hang out. So especially for fun events, Thursdays they do free movie events. They have Penn's Landing with all these hammocks, a huge diversity in food culture in Philadelphia. So there's a lot that Philadelphia has to offer. Actually, these bottom 2 photos right here in the red shirts, this is during our welcome week for our first year students. As first year students come to campus, they come to campus about a week early before the semester begins of their very first year, so they can get acclimated with campus. And our student leaders actually take advantage of all the first years being on campus for the first time and take them down into Philly for a day so that students know how to navigate into Philadelphia and how to navigate around Philadelphia as well. So that's what these photos are about. You do a scavenger hunt, just as a heads up. It's a photo scavenger hunt. So this is a photo in front of Independence Hall. And we can ask a photo on the Rocky Steps or eating an insomnia cookie, which you'll know when you come here. And then this photo over here, this is actually Reading Terminal. Reading Terminal is a huge eatery in Philadelphia, and Arcadia actually rents out a portion of it so students can go and enjoy the food diversity that Philadelphia has to offer. So an amazing city. All right, as for study abroad, as I mentioned earlier, we are nationally ranked in study abroad participation for the past 10 years. We have 40 international affiliations and partnerships, and we have 11 international Arcadia centers. So we're very globally known. A large percentage of our students do use their passport before they graduate because we have so many programs available. So we can meet students if they would like a program, small, medium, and large, as we like to say. For our small programs, we do have a week-long program that I'll talk about on the next slide, but we also have a 2-week-long program for our upperclassmen. It's called Global Field Study. So you do your courses in the Glenside area, and then you go abroad out of the US for about 2 weeks to do in the field, hands-on experience in the country you've been learning about with the topic you've been learning about. We also offer a semester abroad. Actually, we offer a first-year study abroad experience, our FISI experience. It's a semester abroad during your very first year of college. It's your second semester, and we send you to our London location, where we can house actually up to 150 students, but we typically send about 50 students per year. With this, we're a little more hands-on with this semester, only because we understand you just transitioned from high school to college, and now from college in the US to college outside of the US. So there's a lot going on there. We do a lot of pre-orientations before you leave the US to make sure you're prepared for when you arrive in London, know what to pack, how to handle health insurance, what are you gonna do with your phone? Do you have money saved up, or how are you gonna budget over there, because you'll be on a student visa, therefore you're not gaining an income. We go through everything with not only students, but also the parents if they would like to be involved. We arrange your flight. This is the only semester we'll arrange your flight. We arrange your flight, and then when you arrive in country, there will be staff members there to help you, to pick you up from the airport and help you kind of navigate throughout London and learn about London. Classes, everything. It's an amazing opportunity. So this is our FISI experience for your first year. If you're not ready to do a semester abroad your very first year of college, we do have, you can go abroad a semester either in your second or third year as well. So that is a little more independent. Of course, we do all of the orientations, but your flight, for example, we do not book that for you. That is the only extra expense that you would have. So the great thing with a semester abroad is all of your financial aid flies with you, so you're not paying anything extra to go abroad for a semester, and all of your credits transfer back with you. So you're still graduating in 4 years on time. You don't have to worry about graduating late. Now that week-long study abroad opportunity that I mentioned earlier is for our first year students. If you don't want to do that full semester during that spring semester of your first year, that FISI experience, we do have this amazing preview opportunity. Now, preview, the abroad portion is during the 7 to 10 days of spring break. So all of your courses are done in Glenside, just outside of Philadelphia, where we're located. And then in those courses, you're learning about a country designation, and you're learning about an academic theme to go along with that country. Then those 7 to 10 days of spring break, you travel to the country and learn about, you see what you have learned in person. You see the cultural, you'll get that cultural immersion, you'll see their traditions, but you'll also see in person whatever academic theme was going along with that course. So to give a couple examples, Costa Rica, I know, is our ecotourism course. England for preview, we have 2 courses actually. One is a music-based course, one is a political leadership course. When I went abroad, I went to Chile, and so it was really cool. We learned about the education system in Chile, which was really cool. So kind of to give you a little bit of an example, when I was learning about Chile in the classroom setting, that was all done in Glenside. When we arrived in Chile, we weren't arriving in another classroom in another country. We were fully in the field. So we were getting that cultural infusion we were doing a dance class, a cooking class. We did a karaoke night because their language is different. We visited 2 different cities. And then since we were learning about their education system, we met with high school students, we met with professors, with college students, with college student activists, learning about why they were protesting for a better quality education for a more affordable price. So Everything was hands-on. It was an extremely busy week, but just an amazing and unforgettable experience. When you return back to the US after preview to kind of wrap up the course, you do a reflection of yourself, how you learn in a textbook via in person, and also what did you learn on your trip about the country you went to. And then you get to show it off. We do this big fair where all the students show off what they learned on their preview course. About 80% of our first year students take advantage of preview. So with that, preview is actually one of our most subsidized study abroad opportunities. Everything I've mentioned, the classes, round trip flight, activities done in country, accommodations in country, some meals done in country, it's all included in the price of $595 no matter where you go. And so whatever continent, whatever country, no matter where you go, that is the price it is. So that's quite amazing. All right. Of course, any questions, please feel free to leave them in the Q&A. Thank you. So for the class of 2019 outcomes, these are our post-grad outcomes. 97% is pretty great. This is actually my class, so very exciting. We do have a large percentage that go on to work after graduation. That is a huge thanks to our Career and Education, Office of Career Education. They host 2 career and opportunity fairs every year, one in the fall and one in the spring. The one in the spring, they actually invite over 100 organizations to Arcadia's campus, and a lot of those organizations actually host interviews on our campus as well. So it's a really great opportunity, not only to get your resume and your name out there, but to also possibly interview for a job that you're thinking about for the summer, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, you're thinking about a 3-month commitment for like an internship, or maybe you're a senior graduating and you're thinking about at least a year-long commitment. We do have a percentage of continuing education as well that's pretty large, because we have our graduate programs on our campus, as well as all of our pre-academic tracks, such as our pre-law, our pre-engineering, pre-med, a lot of academic tracks that will help prepare you for a master's or graduate program after Arcadia, after you graduate your undergrad from Arcadia. So we do also offer graduate programs on our campus. We're very well known for our forensic science program, our physical therapy, and our physician's assistant. We have our education, we have international peace and conflict resolution. So a lot of grad programs are still available on Arcadia's campus if you would like to continue your education with that as well. A small percentage that do both. And then of course, since we're so globally known, we do have that 2% that do move on to a volunteer service after graduation as well. All right, so what do you need to apply? We require your application. We accept Common App and we have an individual online Arcadia application as well. There is no application fee with Arcadia. We require your high school transcript. If you have any college credits, then send that our way as well. And lastly, 1 letter of recommendation, whether it be a counselor or a teacher. If you have more than one, you can send it to us as well. We are now test optional. This is a new policy. So if you haven't taken that SAT or ACT yet, or if you're not planning on, that is fine. We are test optional. We do have supplement credentials in lieu of the SAT or ACT if you would, that you can send in lieu of taking the test. So we have an interview option that's going to start. We're going to start interviewing in October, mid-October. We also have a video that you can submit, 60 seconds, be as creative or as formal as you'd like. We have an essay option that you can submit as well. The essay, you talk about why you chose Arcadia, why Arcadia is a good fit for you. So a few options available if you would like to submit one of those. Lastly, a writing portfolio. You can submit a bunch of your writings throughout your high school, your years in high school, and we can see your growth in writing. An essay, that college essay, again, optional, and that resume is optional. The more that we know about you, the more merit-based scholarship that we can add up for you. So I will talk about the merit-based scholarship in a little bit. If you are an acting major or an art major, we require 2 other credentials. Your portfolio review, that's for our art majors. Put together a portfolio of all of your art created during your high school year. And an acting major, we require an audition. Mostly done on our campus, but we do also have different audition sessions set up throughout the semester. All right, we have special admit programs as well. And these special admit, you will receive this as an additional letter with your acceptance letter. For example, the first year study abroad opportunity that I mentioned, FISI, this is an invitation only program. So you will receive that invitation with your acceptance letter. Honors program, civic scholars, all of these are also invitations. So if we see that throughout your high school career, you've done a lot of AP, a lot of honors courses, you do very well in your grades, then maybe we'll invite you to the honors program. Civic Scholars is actually a new program we have this year. That's really our social justice program. There's a little bit extra with that program that you'll receive throughout your education at Arcadia. You do more projects with social justice in the Philadelphia community, which is really nice, as well as in your classrooms. Our Gateway to Success, this is our bridge program for those students that may need that little extra help from high school to college. We do have that support system as well. So a lot of programs, all of these programs, again, you will receive this invitation with your acceptance letter. So for financial aid, as I previously mentioned, the merit-based scholarship, that merit-based scholarship is based solely on your high school performance. It is based on not only your test scores, your grades, the classes you've taken, but also your involvement both in your high school and your community. We look at extracurricular activities, commitment, how long you've been participating in those extracurricular activities, any leadership opportunities that you've taken advantage of. And we also look at involvement in your community. Do you do any volunteer work? Maybe showing leadership. You started a volunteer work in your community. So there's a lot that we look for when we're reviewing your application. That's that holistic approach that leads up to your merit-based scholarship, which ranges from $13,000 to $25,000. You will know your scholarship amount with your acceptance letter. And that merit-based scholarship is in addition to your financial aid packet. It's not either or. So with your merit-based scholarship, once that is received in your acceptance letter, once we receive your FAFSA, which goes live October 1st, by the way, which is tomorrow, then once we receive your FAFSA information, then we can put together a financial aid packet for you that's a needs-based financial aid. So again, the merit-based scholarship is in addition to your financial aid packet. Your financial aid packet will break down all of the grants and scholarships you receive. You will have a financial aid counselor throughout not only the application process, your financial aid, your FAFSA application process as well, but also throughout your 4 years of college. So if something comes up financially, maybe you need additional aid, or you have a question about a loan, you can always reach out to your financial aid counselor. They're there to help you, as well as an extension to your parent or parents. They're there to help if parent or parents have any questions as well. So important dates, as I mentioned, FAFSA becomes live October 1st. January 15th, that's our priority deadline for the special admit programs, as I talked about, honors program, our civic scholars, our FISI, all those special admit programs, any accelerated programs as well, that's that deadline. And then lastly, May 1st is National Decision Day. So that's very far into your future at this point, but eventually May 1st will fast approach, and that is the day that you decide what college to go to. Hopefully you become an Arcadia Knight with us, and that is that National Decision Day. Of course, you can always decide before May 1st, but that is the national day. So even though we are remote this fall because of coronavirus, and the spring has not yet made a decision whether we'll be completely online or kind of a hybrid system. We are still having our open houses. We're doing them virtually this fall. One is on October 15th and the other is on November 7th. So I hope you can make it. We will have a lot more than just this information session. We will have academic sessions presenting as well. And from the faculty themselves, they'll be talking, as well as students in each major. So if you really want to hear from the faculty about your specific major and what you can expect, as well as the students' experience, you can do that during our fall open houses. We are all over social media, Snapchat, Instagram. Typically throughout a normal non-COVID semester, we would do a lot of student takeovers, so that's very exciting, but there's always news that's being advertised all over our social media platforms. So definitely stay connected, definitely stay involved. And that is everything from this presentation. There is an addition that I would like to share with you. We now have a virtual visit, since we understand it's very hard for students to visit our campus with COVID regulations. And we do have in-person tours as well. If you're in the Philadelphia area, definitely check out our calendar online. But if you would like to visit Arcadia from the comfort of your home, then you can do so through this website. Yes, we do have a castle on campus, as I mentioned. This third floor is actually student housing, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, which is very exciting. And then our visit center is also in the castle. The castle is lovely. We try to host a few events in there so students can take advantage of the beautiful castle. Just to get a sneak peek inside, I will show you the grand hall. This is how majestic it looks. And of course, we have the knights in the corner because go Knights. That is our mascot. Over here on the right, this is an audio tour that is throughout the the virtual tour as well. So you can also listen to students who recorded this talking about each building on campus and what each building has to offer. And this is basically the circle of campus. So this is the big green that I mentioned at the beginning, student housing over here, library, academic buildings, the common area, both of our eateries, just so you know kind of where I am. The castle's behind me. So this is what campus looks like. It's beautiful. It's very welcoming, especially during nicer months. A lot of students hang out on the green. As you can see, our campus is small. If you beeline, you can walk from one end to the other in about 5 minutes, but nobody really does that because they run into all their friends, and you end up chatting and saying hi to everyone, and then you realize you're about to be late to class and you have to go. So campus is very, very welcoming, very warm, just a beautiful campus. So please check that out virtually. If you have any questions, I will stop sharing my screen. If you do have any questions, please feel free to email me at sloning, SLONING @arcadia.edu. I would love to answer any questions that you may have. And yeah, thank you very much for coming to today's presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the Q&A. I'd love to answer them. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was a great presentation. That castle is incredible.
I love the castle. I'm so lucky to have my office in the castle, but not so lucky right now. This is my living room, but.
Oh yeah, it was gorgeous. The whole campus is gorgeous, so green.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to do this closing slide. Thank you for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at College2Career Fairs Connect.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find the session's recording, as well as all the other session recordings at the same website. Thank you. So thank you again for presenting. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
All right, take care.
Have a great night.
Thank you.